Welcome to Manifest Podcast. This is our 12th episode on manifesting abundance, and we're using metaphysical principles in the world of abundance to create prosperity. Now, this is our final episode, and so I'm excited. I don't know, I love the completion of things. Like, how often do we actually get to the end of something? So often we get to, like, I don't know, 80, 90%, and then we're like, nah, good enough. No, let's go all the way to the end. So we're on episode 12. Today is about celebration, really celebrating life, celebrating the journey, celebrating all of it, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, like however it went. That's what we're talking about. So 12 weeks ago, I created the podcast here of manifesting abundance. And I did what I did. I didn't do what I didn't do. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Like, that's exciting. Now, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if people are going to be receptive or not. I have no idea. And it's in me to do. It's something here. I'm compelled. I'm interested. I'm like grappling. I'm figuring things out. And in the moment, it's like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And so many times I've had ideas and I've never done it for fear of failure, for fear of not looking good, for fear of judgment, criticism, blah, 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 blah. Well, no, not anymore. I don't know what's going to happen in this lifetime. And if I were to not do this, the world wouldn't be any wiser, but there'd be a missing in my heart and my soul of saying I didn't do it. And so there's this sense of like, just do it, and do it with intention to the end. So whatever your end is, right? And if you're not there yet, well, first of all, create the end so that you can actually say you got there. And in that terms, it's really what we're creating our games. Like, if you were to create a game, I love the word game because then it's like fun and exciting versus like, let's create a project. If you were to create a game where you took on something that you've been really wanting to do and you created a timeline and you went through the whole, created smart goals, is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it, there's SMART, attainable, reality, and has a timeline. Those are the SMART goals. If you create something and you create a timeline and you do that all the way to the end, you will be a different person after. You have to be. Because what it takes to actually get to the end of something can be tricky because things get in the way. I know I missed 2 episodes. I promised to have it all out on Sundays, and there was one week I missed, and another week I think I got it done like on a Wednesday. And then another time I recorded and published on the same day, like grappling with what it takes to try something new. I've learned editing. I've learned, that I probably need to do something with the background. Like there's just things, and here we are, So I could either complete this and look back and say that it didn't work the way I wanted. I could say, holy cow, I was like rocking it. I can take this any way I want. Like, and I hope you can see that. Like, I really could look back and I could add, I could make, it really could go 2 ways. I could either go really harsh on myself or I could celebrate myself. And the only option for me is to celebrate. And that's what this episode is about celebrating. Getting hard on ourselves, being judgmental and critical. Yeah, we got that one down. We've been doing that. There's no time for that anymore. What does it take to celebrate ourselves? Okay. Now that's one we can all work on. How do we celebrate ourselves? Like, how do we really how do we really do that? And it takes just, first of all, allowing ourselves and being willing to be proud, to see things through the lens of we are always growing and developing as human beings. To say that, to compare myself or to compare yourself to another, I could look on YouTube and see the millions of subscribers and the millions of followers, and I could get pretty down on myself. But as of this minute, I have 148 subscribers, and that's awesome, actually. Like, I'm like, what? Thank you, everybody. And I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm just seeing that our mindset is our ticket to life. If we're not happy, what's the point? I guess it's like that. So, what can you celebrate today? What are you working on? What's important to you when you wake up in the morning? What are the 5 things you do every single day? Not every single day. I mean, what are 5 things that are important to you that you do, that you think about each week? How's that? Because those are the things that we want to celebrate. Do you clean your kitchen? Do you go for a walk? Do you call your mom? Do you water a garden? Like, I don't know. I'm just giving you ideas to look at. Is like, what are the things that you show up for? And are you showing up for them and it takes effort? Then applaud that, because that takes something. If you show up for those things and it takes no effort, well, then applaud that, because that means you've mastered it. Here's an example. When I first moved out to where we live, I really wanted to take the opportunity of being in a new environment, and I really wanted to walk every single day. I was not really a walker back then. Well, I wasn't. And so it took something. And my goal was to walk a half a kilometer and then turn around and come back. So that meant I would walk a kilometer a day. Oh my gosh. I remember the first probably a year, actually. I was going to say a few months, but no, it took something every single day to get up, to go out in the cold, and in the morning, and then in the winter it was like dark, and I just kept doing it. And I think I'm at the point now where my body just does it. Like, I don't even thinking about it, because I just kept doing it. I would not give it up. It does help that I have dogs and we don't have a yard, so they need to be walked. That's my context. That's my story. That's the thing that I keep saying to myself. I need to walk the dogs. But really underneath it was a commitment to myself and my health. And I just wanted it to be something that I could just do. So there's an example of something that took something. And when that was happening, I really had to celebrate every single time I did it. Now I go outside and I walk. I don't even think about it. Like, sometimes it's not even on my gratitude list. Like, it's like that. But I want to celebrate that, because holy, look how far I've come. So what is your thing that, let's say 5 years ago, there's no way you would have imagined you'd be doing that? Like, that's the stuff we want to celebrate, because that means we've grown. We've evolved. That's the miracle. We skip how long sometimes it takes for us to master something, especially in the beginning when we were grappling and falling, and we'd skip and miss, and and yet now it becomes just every day, and we can forget where we came from. So why today's topic of celebration is because I want to bring that all back. I want to presence the stuff that has been missed or forgotten. So let's look back. Who were you 2, 3 years ago? What were you doing? What was life like? What have you done since then? What have you accomplished? These are the world of abundance, right? So what kind of career are you doing? What are you accountable for? who's accountable, who trusts you, who comes to you when they need you. Like that is incredible to have that kind of community, that kind of listening, that people trust you, that they come to you, that you are something for people. That's the stuff we want to celebrate. And if it means getting a piece of paper and a pen and writing out the people in your lives that are impacted by you, let's celebrate that. Who do you love and admire that's in your life, that they're in your life? Celebrate that. Do you have, do you wake up in the day? Is there parts of the day where you're just doing something and you just feel no sense of time because you're really in the connection of joy and you love it? Like celebrate that. Sometimes when we're in breakdowns, we can forget the simple things in life. So let's celebrate that. And it takes something. So that's what this episode is just getting into that space of gratitude. And finally, I just want to share, when we're at the end of something, like this is a final episode, and that means that I'm wrapping up and I'm completing, and it's ending. There'll be more manifest podcasts, but there'll be no more on this topic. And so in the world of completing, there's a powerful place to do it. And when we're ending something, what if we take a moment and reflect back on anything that we thought on how it should have been, what we had hoped it would be, how it didn't go? We wished it was one way and it turned out another. Um, anything that might be in the way of really tying a bow on the experience and saying that was the best experience of my life. Do I wish there were more subscribers? Do I wish? Sure, of course. Like anybody wants to create something, they want it to make a difference. And I am so proud of completing. I'm proud um, of having it go the way it did. And all I am left with is just how much I've grown in this podcast series. I love connecting with you guys, the ones that have been messaging me and like coming to the junction is like, what? This is amazing. And that's actually what truly matters, is because the junction for me is a place where people connect with each other and are inspired and empowered. And so when I hear that people are getting something out of this is like awesome. And I'm proud of that and I'm celebrating that. And when we're completing something, if we can get to that place where there's nothing more, like I really am complete, that it went the way it did and it didn't go the way it didn't go, and I'm like 100% okay with it. That's how I know I'm complete, because now I don't have any residual, energy around how it went. And when we call it a game, if you're like playing Monopoly and then finally someone it wins and it's over, there's something about that space of it's over. The game is done. Now we can choose to continue or not. So by having episode 12 being the end, I now get to say it's over. And from here, I get to say whether I'm going to continue or not. And there's something so beautiful about that. And when we can apply that, so if you're going to try something new, like take on a new weight loss program or running or savings program or start a new career, like job, anything we're starting, set it up as a game so you can check in, so that you can call something complete if it's not going the way we want. Having that beautiful place to be able to go, okay, you know what? I'm going to give this 3 months and then I'm going to check in and I'm going to see if there's anything I can missing, anything I can add, or do I call it complete and try something new? There's so much power there. So, in the world of celebration, not only do we celebrate the end, like we did what we did, but are we celebrating during? Celebrating along the way allows us to really highlight the parts that we are enjoying, things we call a win. We can label as, yes, we did it. This is amazing success. Every time I got a new subscriber, I'd be like, I got a new subscriber. Like it just is exciting and I'm celebrating it. Every time I got a comment, I'm like, oh, I get to reply. Like all that stuff is part of the beautiful experience of life. And celebrating these moments allows us to really enhance the moments that we truly are, that we're truly in. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing it, is to really capture these wonderful moments. So what are you celebrating today? What can you look around in your life and take notice of and just celebrate, whether that's celebrating it on your own or just sharing it with other people on what you're proud of. So with that, we are complete on our incredible podcast. Thank you everybody who's tuned in, watched, subscribed, shared, commented, all that good stuff. And I also just want to, before I go, extend an invitation to anybody who wants to join us at the Sunday Junction. We have a 1 hour inquiry that we always do every week. Topics changes every single week. And we're a small group community that's growing. We sometimes have 10 people, 12 people. And what it is it's on Zoom, and I create a topic, and we actually like sometimes go to work on a workbook. We have questions, we share, but really with the intention to empower and inspire you. That's what it's for. It's not religious. It really is steeped in growth, personal development, and the idea that once we are seen and heard, valued and understood, we really are in a world of thriving. And that's my intention here at the Junction, is that all of us have that space where we can be seen, heard, valued, and understood with like-minded people in service of mental well-being. And if that's something that resonates with you, you can go to thejunction.today/Sunday. And on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, you can click a blue button and you'll be directed right to the Zoom, and you'll be connected with me. You'll see me, the host, and my wonderful many friends that keep joining every week. So you're invited. So that's your invitation. With that, I see you next week with a brand new series. So stay tuned to see what that is about. Have a great day.